Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Mottee here for the Australian Evolutionary Movement with a new video today. And we're going to get into why the tension and divisiveness between the sexes is higher than it has ever been. With mainstream culture is a big contributor to this divide, and I'll get into why later in this video. With the world becoming more crazier and so many opposing factions against one another, it really shouldn't come as a surprise why this is happening. We have radical feminists out for more power, vegan activists raiding farms and disrupting traffic, and the list just goes on. Mainstream culture is constantly telling us how we should think and how we should look. And when you look at this, when we have cancerous outlets like Teen Vogue writing articles, Teen Vogue, they write articles, their younger audience telling them that having an abortion is safer than giving birth, but that's not the article I'm showing you. Now Teen Vogue encourages teen girls to become prostitutes. If you have a look at the article, Teen Vogue blasted for promoting sex work as real work towards young girls. Promoting prostitution after publishing an article which advises sex work as real work to its audience, which is made up mostly of girls between the ages of 12 and 18. These guys have faced backlash in the past for telling their audience that it's safer to have an abortion than to giving birth. But it's not only just Teen Vogue and outlets like this that are causing this destructive attitude. We have wannabe celebtards like Jessica from Married at First Sight, now doing topless videos on Instagram. And when you look at this article, it sounds like she's being praised for it. Married at First Sight has stunned fans yet again after sharing a racy video in which she's stripping off. And she had some backlash from Married at First Sight when she cheated on her partner or left him for someone else. Obviously not the right type of attitude we should be promoting in society. And as we look at this divide just constantly throughout our mainstream media, all these new third wave feminists coming out of the blue and complete hypocrisy. We look at this vile man-hater misandrist, Clementine Ford, repeatedly saying in her tweets, all men must die, kill all men. Ironically though, she's also speaking about domestic violence and equality at an upcoming event, which doesn't make much sense. And she sees seen as one of these feminist icons in the eyes of the mainstream media. And radical third-wave feminism is just eating itself from within. Clementine Ford abused a Liberal female voters for not voting for Labor, saying they should be ashamed of themselves and basically calling Liberal voters fuckheads. We'll get into the next absurd, more absurdity, and even Meryl Streep faced the mainstream media backlash after she came out defending men and criticized the term toxic masculinity. She calls it damaging to boys and men, and added that women can be pretty effing toxic too. I mean, I disagree with a lot of what this woman usually says, but on this point, she's completely right. The actress referred to as the Queen of Hollywood came out, and she faced all this backlash from the mainstream media, left-wingers, as you'd expect, go against their opposing opinion, and you're suddenly one of the enemy. And then we see in this article, we hear more women are choosing not to have kids, with marriage rates already decreasing. We hear that the Australian Bureau of Statistics says that sometime in the next decade, the number of couples without children will overtake the number of couples with. It's the kind of statement that often prompts disbelief. And you just look at the headline of this. More women are choosing not to have kids, and society can't cope. And it shouldn't come as a shock when we hear that new research shows male suicide levels could be 3 times higher than some estimates, with at least 6 men that take their lives every day in Australia. So the charities Beyond Blue and Movember has found that the number of men contemplating suicide or attempting suicide in Australia is 3 times higher than previously thought. New statistics came through the analysis of ambulance callouts rather than just hospital admission data. So they're very shocking data. And of course, a big part of the problem is how we treat each other in our interactions that we have. We allow sex to dominate our everyday interactions, and we lose touch with what's really important, and that is that men and women are equal, but are not the same. Which is something I shouldn't even be discussing in 2019, but here we are. And obviously is a big talking point in this day and age, like in today's article. Transgender, intersex and gender diverse people will no longer need to have surgery to change the sex on their birth certificate. Trans Victorians can alter birth. And it's just complete ludicrous. Transgender and intersex Victorians will no longer need to have gender reassignment surgery in order to change the sex on their birth certificate. That's why I thought I'd bring it up as a big talking point, especially in 2019. It's also important to notice how serving a woman channels male aggression and somewhat civilizes them. And it can civilize them. It encourages them to protect the weak. It holds the woman to a set of standards, and that's why both sexes have to make an effort, not just the man. It also enforces men to improve themselves morally, and it's just this brute instinct or an admiration for expression that is what brought the poetry, art, rebellion spirit out of us. And in this day and age, people have their priorities all muddled up. We value our worth on how many Instagram followers we have, while losing touch with our real friends and family. We have lost understanding of what's important, constantly trying to fill this empty void with materialistic goods. And instead of discussing these issues, we only chip away at the problem and make it worse by having divorce parties and selling ourselves on sugar baby websites. With this article, almost 200,000 Australian university students turn into sugar baby websites to pay bills. 60 Minutes report has revealed more than 177,000 university students are signing up to sugar baby dating websites as a means to pay university fees and living expenses, which basically you could call a type of prostitution. And in this, especially in this whole Me Too era, when we see false accusations come out, and even in some cases they are taken seriously without any investigation, which we see happening constantly. And it's this divide and conquer agenda as a way to destroy the family unit and easily control the individual. So it's very crucial stuff, and in today's day and age, when people usually ask you what you do for a living, they do it so they can calculate the level of respect to give you. Because I always thought treating the janitor as the same respect as any CEO businessman. That's just the type of attitude we should be having for one another. And that's my take on the divide of the gender war, at least at the moment. The divide of the sexes. Brought to us a lot by mainstream propaganda. And I hope you guys like this video, because I'm really putting in some hard work for this. And if you guys really enjoy the work that we're doing here, please support the movement. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Because it's only a matter of time until this channel gets taken down too, like multiple other truth-telling platforms. And it's a matter of time until they really restrict what we can say and the laws to be able to say it. So anyways, I hope you guys appreciate this video and it gives you some insight on the current situation. Don't forget to like and subscribe, go to alternative platforms, and thank you for watching this video. I'll talk to you soon.